Fresh meat!
I've assisted in the apprehension of many deranged killers. There's usually something distinctly strange within each case that forces the authorities to call on me. However, nothing could have prepared me for how strange things got while assisting with the capture of Charles Lee Ray, aka the Lakeshore Strangler. I'm Special Agent Casper Bollocks of the Covert Federal Division of Unexplained Phenomenon, and this is Behind the Movie Killer. Charles Lee Ray was one of Chicago's most notorious serial killers, having murdered 22 people in and around the city. Many of the murder scenes showed signs of ritualistic voodoo sacrifices, which is why I became involved. Charles Lee Ray studied the dark arts under a local witch doctor who went by the name Dr. Death. Apparently, he was the doctor's finest student. It was actually through Dr. Death that we were able to get a lead on Lee Ray's whereabouts. He was hiding out in the basement of an apartment with his soon-to-be next victim. Detective Mike Norris arrived on the scene and took chase. After a brief standoff, he cornered Lee Ray. Norris shot the strangler once in the leg and a second time in the chest. That second shot was on its way to being fatal, and Lee Ray seemed to know it. He collapsed onto the floor amidst a bunch of children's dolls and then, according to Norris, began shouting and chanting. From what Norris told me, the words went something like Ade Due Damballa, which, if I recalled properly, is the opening verse of the Damballa chant, an arcane and forbidden form of voodoo magic used to call forth the power of the ancient voodoo sky god Damballa. I asked Norris if anything strange occurred with Lee Ray's body after lightning struck the building. He said no. The case was closed. However, Damballa may have left something open. A couple of days later, one of Charles Lee Ray's accomplices was killed in an explosion. At the scene was a young boy and his good guy doll. The boy claimed that his doll, named Chucky, made him go there. This piqued Detective Norris's interest, as Chucky was Lee Ray's nickname. He brought the boy and his mother Karen in to see if they could help him figure out anything further. While Norris spoke with the mother, I had a chat with the boy, named Andy. He was a very sweet child with a true innocence in his voice, and the details he gave regarding his doll, Chucky, were eerily parallel to Charles Lee Ray. I wanted to speak to Karen and Andy for a little longer, but Norris arranged for Andy to speak with another older doctor. Since I was merely there as an advisor, I took a step back. But I wish I didn't. According to Karen, upon arriving home that very night, Chucky began malfunctioning. Suddenly, the imaginative fantasies of a young child no longer seemed so outlandish. And when Chucky went missing, Dr. Death met an untimely, ritualistic demise. When Norris informed me about Dr. Death, I tried calling the doctor who took Andy, but the phone line was dead. I was unable to reach Norris either. Because he was with Karen, I surmised that they may be heading to her apartment and frantically raced there. I arrived to discover Norris, Karen, and young Andy in a state of shock. The apartment was a mess, and way off in the corner of a bedroom were the burnt to a crisp remains of what I was told was Chucky. I'm not sure what truly occurred within that Chicago apartment. Did Charles Lee Ray use Damballa to transfer his dying soul into the form of a doll? Is this ordeal really over? Well, rest assured that if this scenario should ever rise again, I'll be there to see it through till the end.